Glory for a new version of the team. Wait a second. In the back of the arena.
This is a loser match. We beat you last month and you lost tag title last month. You're a 27-year-old man who draws on walls. You're a retard from Cleveland and Johnny Gargano. You are big. We want a match right now. We want one right now. Let's go. Think about that.
Has DeMarco been drinking again? Probably.
I go up and I applaud when Mickey kicks me on the floor, and I still wrestle in the main event.
Did he say he got...
Right here.
What?
There's one tag team title. You got screwed.
Get Norm.
We want a threesome. We want a threesome.
A what?
No. This isn't happening. We're not going to have the feel-good story of the summer and feel bad favorite two ass pirates in this match about the Hollywood Ball. What? They're your favorites? Shut up! Get over here.
I think the point here is the balls wasn't added.
Is that you actually believe that you tore your quad when he kissed you?
Kiss of death.
Wait a minute. When he kissed you, you blew?
No comment.
I'm in a pretty salty mood tonight, so I guess I'll ask you guys. Do you want to get your hands on these groups one more time? Do you guys want to see these guys get their hands on these groups one more time? All right. I guess I'll tell you what. We will make it a three-way dance, and the next time we're here at court time, the winner will get a shot at the IWC Tag Team Champions.
Wow. How about that for an unexpected turn of events? And I'm not just talking about Jimmy DeMarco in general. High stakes in this match. Quick roll up here. Cover two. The Hollywood Balls coming out here claiming they were screwed in their last matchup. They willingly laid down for their partners in crime, no pun intended, the Gambinos. And now they want another shot? You're trying to say Italians are criminals? Not all of them. Idle next, a couple of shots, take the balls down. Back in, it's Johnny Gargano, Michael Facade. Another couple of roll-ups here, too, and... What?
Yeah, I'm in Pittsburgh now.
That's Chris Maverick.
Yeah.
The prophet of profit.
Yeah, Justin's in the ring right now.
He's talking on his cellular phone. We have not seen Chris Maverick since this past May.
Excuse me, one moment. Joe. I'm on the phone.
I really don't care.
I'm on the phone. Where to call?
This past May, Maverick came in with the heartthrobs, Romeo Roselli and Antonio Thomas. Check out Facade on top.
Oh, that was
Somersault launcher to the outside. But Maverick's team failed, I reiterate, at defeating sexual harassment. Failed at winning the tag titles. They hightailed it out of the country, so I was told. Maverick hasn't been seen since, so why the hell is he out here watching this match?
Yeah.
He does not have any of his shadily signed talent in this match.
Okay. Yeah, give Beyonce my love.
I'm going to
I'll talk to you soon.
provide a little perspective maybe.
Bye.
That Mav, who is a fine manager in his own right.
Hey, Garrett, nice to see you.
Good to see you.
How you doing? Hey, Joe.
Hi.
How you been these last few weeks?
And I'm going to say this, Matt, a fine manager in his own right, probably has something brewing, something going on. Well, and since his last group was a tag team, maybe he wants to get a team to, beat the winner of this match. Well, maybe he wants
as I understand
another shot at harassment.
As I understand it, there is a tag team title match that's going to come out of this is the #1 contenders match, so to speak.
Yes, the winners of this match get a shot at the tag titles next time we're here at court time.
Yeah, I actually had a meeting with Justin Idol about 2 weeks ago. Very productive meeting. We talked. We talked.
You used to manage him.
I did. And Eric Ecstasy.
Yes.
Also former tag team champions BFF.
Yes.
I did.
They're just enamored about you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I was talking to Justin. Justin was telling me about this match. I hadn't been in Pittsburgh in a while. I figured I might come by. That was pretty cool.
Well, meanwhile, we're seeing Johnny Gargano and Justin Idol have a wrestling clinic in here, going all out to try to prove themselves worthy of that tag title opportunity. But Eric Ecstasy from behind, Gargano and Idol really putting it all on the line here, but so is everybody else. Facade could not even move Eric Ecstasy, however. Look out. Clothesline attempt, counter roll up by Facade, cover, 2, and no.
Picked up a couple tricks since I last saw him.
And Facade
picked up a lot of tricks. Knowing how he is outside of wrestling.
shoulder tackle on well, it's not.
Some of us don't need to pay,
Let's not delve into that very much, but Ecstasy, inverted DDT on Michael the Bomber Facade.
I have to tell you about this party I was at like 2 weeks ago. It was great.
What's going on?
Oh, there were like women all over the place.
Can you handle this off air, please? I really could not care less.
I think
you couldn't care less about women.
I could not care less about your personal
I forgot.
life.
It's a harassment match. You enjoy this sort of thing. I'm sorry.
Gargano and Idol back in.
Nice leapfrog by Justin Idol. Ooh!
And we've seen both these men go toe-to-toe for the last several minutes. Idol now with the upper hand momentarily. Charging through, but a low bridge by Vendetta of the Hollywood Balls.
You might call that illegal, Jeff.
I might.
actually there is no top rope move like rule in IWC. It is legal to throw a guy over the top rope. Even if
Look out, Vendetta explodes with a suplex.
But even though he pulled it down,
I mean, it seems kind of dangerous. You might want to automatically disqualify somebody for that sort of thing.
But there is no, there are no rules in IWC.
And it's the much
you could literally shoot your opponent in the head.
much larger Vendetta, using his power to the advantage here of this
that could be a cool finisher.
this cruiserweight-sized team of Facade and Gargano. And look at Jimmy DeMarco. We've already seen Dr. Delicious bring his prescription for perversion with that pre-match diatribe. Doctor float over into the cover.
I've been gone like 3 months. Did he get a doctorate?
Well,
In what?
Is it honorary or like is he a legit PhD in delicious?
I think he bought it out of the back of a van. And it's DeMarco in control of Johnny Gargano, tag into Vendetta, as this 19-year-old prodigy is now being worn down by the Hollywood Balls, who had a title opportunity and squandered it by laying down for the Gambinos.
Joe, how old are the other members or how old are the other people?
5 minutes going.
You know that Johnny Gargano, and not taking anything away from him, is a
Cover
19-year-old prodigy.
Right.
How old is everyone else?
About early to mid-20s.
Early to me.
So what you're saying is you have more of an interest in Johnny Gargano.
Well, I'm saying that Gargano's accomplishments
he's cute?
in the short amount of time are certainly. I give up.
I'm going to try to do some commentary here. We've got a
O'Connor roll by Gargano, 2 and no, and Gargano used the momentum to tag in Vendetta.
You see Dombrowski just stomping on my line right there?
You're doing an excellent job. You're like Gordon Soley.
Thank you.
The Balls
And the Sunshine State thanks you.
The Balls may have to wrestle each other here. None of the other 4 athletes, 1 in.
Wait a minute. Wait. See, that's one of the problems with
Cover 2. Now they're trying to figure out if they pin each other, who wins.
Well, technically it would work.
I believe
Because
It would work.
right.
They just wasted a ton of time.
Because had that worked, Jesse Vendetta and his
scored the
partner
winning pinfall.
would have been the #1 contender.
yes.
They could have outsmarted everybody, but they had to spend a good 2 or 3 minutes talking about it. And now the matchup has degenerated into chaos once again.
Well, I
would
think the
call this
problem is their lack of good hair impairing their judgment.
Something like that. But springboard in with a heel kick.
Right. Never take your eye off Justin Idol.
Idol gets spring in as well with a drop kick. Yeah, you learned that the hard way, Mr. Maverick.
Never take my eye. How did I learn it the hard
Joe
way?
has a hard time taking his eyes off of Justin Idol to begin with.
Gargano charging in now. Behind now for the ride. Gargano charges through with a tope as the pace quickens.
Wait a minute.
That's going to favor the lighter athlete. And Justin Idol's the only one in the ring. Chris Maverick is standing up. Wait a second. Wait a minute. We got 4 guys on the outside. Idol with a punch out of the floor.
Oh, wow.
DeMarco sidestepped it, however, and it's down to DeMarco and Facade.
That's pretty impressive. Whoa, wait.
Now check this out. double team into the, what do they call that? Candy-coated cookie cutter of Jimmy DeMarco. Not the candy-coated cookie cutter.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Candy-coated cookie cutter is straight up ace crusher. I know, he tried to do it to me.
It's kind of a candy-coated cookie cutter D, or a 3 candy-coated cookie cutter D.
Yeah.
Maybe. That's pretty, I mean...
Well, whatever you want to call it, whatever you'd like to dub that as. I would call it effective. Exactly. The result is the same. Johnny Gargano, Michael Facade, the former tag champs, are eliminated. We're down to what we saw 4 weeks ago in the most bizarre #1 contender tag match, perhaps of all time. And now it's a rematch. Hopefully, Eric actually keeps his pants on this time, be that as it may. Well, he's wearing a singlet. It'd be awful hard. Whisper secret. Shades of old school sexual harassment.
I don't think a neck is supposed to bend like that.
Oh, look at Vendetta! Probably not. A clothesline explosion on sexual harassment. And just like that, the tide has been turned and a much more serious tone than what we saw 4 weeks ago. None of these shenanigans and falderall between the balls and harassment that we saw 1 month ago.
I didn't see it 1 month ago.
Yeah, he wasn't here.
I was in Bermuda.
I'm sorry to hear that.
How was it? It was nice. You know, Shakira has the nicest little, I mean, I guess you'd call it a
Vendetta using the power drops idol.
Kind of a...
Cover 2 and no.
Like a shoestring, really. And, yeah.
Look at this.
I do.
Oh, God.
My God.
T-bone suplex on the bleachers from Ecstasy to DeMarco. Nowhere to land that feels good. You know, I had a very interesting question for you about Ecstasy and DeMarco, and it was going to be, which one of them has a more misshapen head?
I believe the answer is now clearly DeMarco.
Yeah. And we talked about sexual harassment becoming more serious. That's what we're seeing here. I don't know what Justin Idol has told Eric Ecstasy. We saw they had that argument after that matchup a month ago.
I'm liking what I'm seeing from Justin there.
Clearly it's working out for them. A bit of a mean streak.
A little bit of an attitude adjustment from the last time I saw Justin.
You look pleasantly surprised, Mr. Maverick.
I kind of approve. This, okay, so, you know, I used to manage sexual harassment. I never cared for this
Do you
sort of thing.
approve of that?
No, I don't.
And check out Justin Idol.
Justin.
Ecstasy's losing focus like he did a month ago. That cost him the tag. The Balls try to get involved again, but get taken out of the equation.
Sorry, I'm getting a text message.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Can you have them hold on for a moment?
Please. Calling timeout. Mav needs a timeout. Look at Justin Idol here. Drops him, Eric first. Cover 2. And sexual harassment. The serious sexual harassment on the #1 contender. If my math is correct,
Oh man, these showers during court time are great. I just had to do a pre-match shower to get myself wet, but I don't really have a match. I'm getting sick of talking, so I want to get this over with. Hopefully the DJ guy doesn't screw up my music when I go out there, because he ain't gonna do. Whoa, you got connections to music. Can you score me some Jonas Brothers tickets? Because I'll take it.
If you heard what I was saying outside a little while ago, you shouldn't be worried about Jonas Brothers tickets. Listen to me. I know all about the kiss of death. I know all about it. Look at me. Don't have any regrets. Listen, look at me. No kiss of death and no regrets. I'll be out there.
No regrets. He has a chance to be in the championship tournament, and he needs to take advantage of it.
Weighs in at 206 pounds. He is one half of the Hollywood Bulls. He is delicious, Jimmy DeMarco.
And Bubba, we heard your speech about your career, some of the opportunities you feel you may have not followed through on completely, some of the opportunities you think may have slipped through your fingertips, and Jimmy DeMarco is in a similar situation right here. He could be, as scary as it sounds, our heavyweight champion, but he could throw it all away for loyalty to the family. Do you think he got through to him?
I can tell you this, every one of these fans sitting here and everybody watching the video right now paid money to see this match, and as the head of IWC until Notorious Norm Connors comes back, I guess this is a match. there cannot be a kiss of death. There cannot be a kiss of death because this kid, Jimmy DeMarco, love him or hate him, can't have regrets. It could be the worst thing that he ever did with his career if he throws this match away.
Delicious Jimmy DeMarco. At this time, Jimmy DeMarco, also known as the Prime Minister of Perversion.
Oh, Lord. He's forcing Chuck to say these two. Check, we got that one.
The Duke of Debauchery.
Yeah.
Dr. Delicious. The Foreman of Fornication.
We could be here a while.
And
I hope not.
Jumbo Jimbo, the Good Reverend Doctor, and Juicy James would like to dedicate this match to all the starving children around the world living in poverty. Whether in this life or the next, they will all, let's see, suck his muscles.
What?
Amen. P.S. Hold on. We're not done yet. Hopefully soon. Systematic beatings of the elderly and children will take place post-match, courtesy of DeMarco Rico, free of charge.
You know, I'm trying to give this young guy some advice. You know, and it seems that he's more interested in being funny than he is in wrestling and going for the heavyweight goal.
So you can advance, and I can get to the back and get something to eat.
Don't do it, Jimmy. Don't do it. I'm telling you, don't do it. Don't do it.
Well,
don't do it.
The kiss of death.
There it is.
Will he throw away this opportunity?
Don't do it, Jimmy. Don't do it, Jimmy.
He's thinking about it. He got
no regrets, Jimmy. No regrets. Take advantage of it.
Bell sounds. We're underway.
Here we go. No.
Oh, come on.
This is not what the fans paid to see.
No. Wait, he kicked out. It looks like your words may have done something, Bubba.
I got to tell you something, that you can't throw away an opportunity when you're young. Oh, here he goes. He's grabbing the microphone.
I was just thinking, and I mean, I know all those little kids in Texas and all that, the drowning people are going to suck my muscles, but I think I want you to suck my muscles first, bitch.
Wow.
Something, this kid has got some talent. If only he would put it to use like it appears that he's doing right now in the ring.
Well, Jimmy DeMarco's always been distracted with his perverted, deviant-like behavior, but now we got a hell of a fight within the family.
And you know something, sometimes family fights get specifically and intentionally brutal because you've had a fight in your household. It gets a lot nastier because you know each other that much better.
And we got the whole family surrounding ringside here. Marshall, the Flunkies, Vicky came out with Mickey. Vendetta came out behind DeMarco. And Mickey to the outside. Got to take a moment here to commend you, Bubba, on your great decision-making so far as part of IWC management. And DeMarco with a foreign object, a sign from the crowd.
I'll tell you something, that was the best use of the sign all night.
I'll tell you what, great decision to make this a three-way matchup later tonight for the Super Indy title. Great decision taking care of CJ Sensation as well. We can't have company reps making such accusations like he's been making these past few months.
Absolutely not. And like I said, as long as I'm in charge of IWC, the fans are in charge. It's up to the fans, and every wrestler better put forth their best effort. If not, they won't be around, and that's what's happening with Jimmy DeMarco. That's why I said, one, these fans deserve a match, and they're getting a match right now. And two, this kid can't lay down as he did not do and give up one of his greatest opportunities in his career.
Is DeMarco using his perverted, unpredictable nature for a positive this time?
That remains to be seen, but at least he's doing the right thing right now.
He's doing the right thing for Jimmy DeMarco, absolutely. And I don't see I don't see how Mickey Gambino deserves the right to take a bye into the next round. Certainly not.
There's nobody that deserves a bye. This is professional wrestling. This isn't a tournament where you get a bye, you get in, you get out. This is, you got to earn your way in, and there is not a chance in the world that I was going to let Jimmy DeMarco lay down. It could not happen tonight.
And DeMarco just sent Mickey Gambino crashing into the flunkies on the outside, Flexer and Ferrari. I think the whole family is a bit of outrage over this turn of events.
Where did these flunkies come from? I need to find out more about them. I got to do some investigating, because if they don't deserve to be out here, I'm going to handle that situation too.
Look at this! DeMarco with a high-risk move, and the flunkies got it again.
I may not have to handle this situation. It may have just been handled for me.
Well, I'll tell you what, the more investigating you do into the Gambinos' personal lives and business practices, the more frightened you may become.
I got to be honest with you, anything that happens outside of the IWC, I can't get involved with. Whatever they do with their business is their own deal. Anything that happens with the business of the IWC, I will be involved with, and I can guarantee you that. That's
great to hear. Somebody to finally take charge with men like the Gambino family, men like Dennis Gregory, who have run roughshod over this great organization for far, far too long.
And don't think I didn't realize it when everybody was at ringside. Dennis Gregory was not there, and I will remember that.
DeMarco with a knife-edge chop.
I'll tell you something. I think DeMarco has probably one of the hardest heads in all professional wrestling, and he uses it as a weapon, which if I had one that hard, I would do the same.
DeMarco very, very tough. That, no doubt about it. The Dr. Delicious bringing his prescription for perversion, a prescription for pain here tonight. But Mickey Gambino took out the knee of the Delicious one, wraps it right across that hard ring post.
In my opinion, Mickey Gambino is in for a very difficult match, as we've seen thus far, even though he is control, because he thought that he had a bye. He didn't think he'd be in a match today. He didn't train for the match today. He didn't do any prep for the match today. He didn't think he was going to have an opponent. He thought he was going to walk to the next round, and that puts him at a distinct disadvantage because he was not prepared for this match today.
And essentially, Jimmy DeMarco may have felt the same until you turn his opinion around. And DeMarco, a cheap shot, as we're still seeing same Gambino family tactics. And we have a roll-up for two. The only great thing about it is now they're using it against each other.
Absolutely, and it's good to see. You know something? Once again, these fans paid big money to see this match, and the match I'm glad that we're seeing. Let the best man win at this point, if there is a best man.
Mickey Gambino is certainly the most technically refined of the Gambino family. They want to try to ground Jimmy DeMarco, and in the ring and in life, Jimmy DeMarco is one of the most unpredictable individuals I've ever had the general misfortune of crossing paths with.
I see Vendetta at ringside. I mean, it's hard to say. Where is this whole family going to fall apart? Who's in whose corner? Who's on whose side?
That's a great question. We've already seen Vendetta qualify earlier tonight, and certainly he would love if his Hollywood Ball teammate could make it as well. But we've already seen Marshall Gambino fall short to Shiima Xion. Mickey Gambino, the only hope of the Gambino brother tag team.
And we know that Jimmy DeMarco didn't have a problem taking out the flunkies. The question is he going to have a problem taking out anybody other than Mickey? Because there are more people outside the ring.
That's absolutely true. Everybody's divided here. And Mickey Gambino, a hell of a spine buster. You can see DeMarco's back bow up in pain. Mickey, Texas Cloverleaf coming up. Again, that technical skill of nice guy Mickey coming into play. Doesn't have it arced all the way back, but still applying a lot of pain.
Win or lose, Jimmy DeMarco, at least he didn't lay down. Win or lose, he gave it his best effort. And I can tell you right now, if he does have a chance to win this match, if he does win this match, it'll be the happiest night in his career in the IWC.
That's what it's all about. Friendships are aside, partnerships are aside. It's all about the top prize in this organization, the heavyweight championship. The belted men like CM Punk, Colt Cabana, Balls Mahoney, and the Sandman have worn so very proudly through the years.
Absolutely. You know something? I've been in this organization since the day it opened, and I've never had that belt. In fact, I can be honest with you, I've never even had the opportunity to wrestle for the belt, and I don't have...
Wait, it's not Cradle here. DeMarco has 2-0.
So close. I never had the chance to even wrestle for the belt, and I've got to tell you something, that is such a great prize. For anybody to even consider passing on it would be ridiculous.
DeMarco with the candy-coated cookie cutter out of nowhere. He did it!
DeMarco wins!
He did it!
And look at the family at ringside.
Gentlemen, your winner and advancing to the championship tournament is Jimmy DeMarco.
Look at the family. They're in shock. They don't even know what to say. They don't know what to do. Marshall Gambino looking at Jimmy DeMarco.
the best laid plans of the family have seemingly backfired. DeMarco leaving with Vendetta. DeMarco getting cheered. DeMarco's in the tournament.
An individual we never really pictured that would be in the IWC title picture, for lack of a better term. A man we never really envisioned would make it to the final round. A man who almost forfeited his spot in the qualifying round. But now, after scoring wins over men like M-Dog 20 Mac Cross, Psycho Shooter Drake Younger, and indeed the former 5-time heavyweight champion, Dennis Gregory, Delicious Jimmy DeMarco has a 50% chance of being recognized as champion.
This is the main event of the evening and the finals of our championship tournament. It is set for one fall, 60-minute time limit, and the winner will be the new IWC champion. Introducing to you first, outside the ring to my left, from the Philippines, weighing at 198 pounds, Shiima. His opponent in the ring to my right, weighing in at 205 pounds, from Ozone Park, New York, fans, he is Delicious Jimmy DeMarco.
Shiima Xion springs in with a drop kick. No wasted time here. DeMarco retreats to the outside, and Shiima Xion trying to capitalize on it. The bell is sounded, and Shiima elevates himself to the outside with a puncher. It is Joe Dabrowski with Jay Worthington Farnsworth here at ringside to bring you the finals of IWC's biggest and most prestigious heavyweight title tournament in history. We've seen men like Colt Cabana and Ricky Reyes win these tournaments before. Tonight, it's either Shiima Xion or Jimmy DeMarco.
And I need to correct you. You said no one thought Jimmy DeMarco would go this far. I picked Jimmy DeMarco.
Well,
for the win.
That's very true, but Shiima Xion, top turnbuckle, what's the initial drop kick? And no.
Jimmy DeMarco already opened up. We're less than a minute into this competition.
I believe that was from that guardrail. Mr. John Boland joining us. Certainly you did not expect, I don't believe, these two to make it to the final round based on some of the top-notch competition here. Such a wide open field, and this is perfect testament to it. What do you make of this matchup as Shiima hits the guardrail? Both men pulling out all stops right away.
Brother, first of all, I can't believe these two men are in the finals, but God bless them, they made it here. And they're going at it really, really hard. Look at this. We got DeMarco opened up already. Shiima busted up on the guardrail right there. But these guys are fighting for that ultimate prize, that IWC heavyweight title.
Two guys that I don't think were really considering even a run at the title prior to this tournament.
Farnsworth, this is bigger than like Penn State beating Ohio State. This is bigger than Ali over Frazier or whatever. You understand what I mean? It's
Absolutely.
bigger than when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor. I'm on a roll here. Shut your mouth.
Sorry.
DeMarco cinching a chin lock. Shiima Xion is 22 years of age. I believe DeMarco is about 25. Two very young lions as far as the heavyweight title picture is concerned. No matter who wins this matchup, we're going to have our youngest heavyweight champion in about 4 years or so at least.
Very true. And
they're fighting for that ultimate prize, guys. Look at them. Look at the intensity on both their faces.
Indeed.
Well, you could tell when Shiima came out, you know, normally bouncing, happy, trying to get the crowd behind him.
And check out the aggression of Jimmy DeMarco.
No happy. You understand? You're going for that heavyweight title.
Well, we have a cover here. Cover 2-0.
There was nothing but intensity.
And DeMarco showing that same mean streak, the mean streak of Jimmy DeMarco we've known for so long now, as he sends Shiima to the outside of the ring. This may or may not be irresistible force and a movable object, but it is a hell of a contest. And DeMarco going to take a risk here. Springboard with a punch to the outside. DeMarco takes down Shiima Xion, and both these men, you know, you made a good point a moment ago, Farnsworth. They may have not expected to be at this stage. Shiima Xion may have chosen to focus on the Super Indy title. Jimmy DeMarco was ready to lay down at one point in the qualifying round, but now these two find themselves at the pinnacle of this company, fighting for a championship. cover, 2-0, fighting for a championship that's been held by men like Colt Cabana, Balls Mahoney, The Sandman, CM Punk, Ricky Reyes, Shirley Doe, Dennis Gregory, and so many more through the years. And they can be added to that prestigious list that keeps growing in importance as time goes on.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Joe.
And DeMarco is trying to ground Shiima Xion. Despite the risk we just saw DeMarco take, Shiima is more adept at flying. And you got to wonder how the blood loss will pack. See more!
It could be over!
DeMarco's got the title! Oh my God, no!
Oh! The move that put away the former title holder, and Shiima just kicked out of it.
That was a heart-stopping moment, gentlemen. Jimmy DeMarco, half a second away from being our company representative as champion.
Jimmy DeMarco just swung the odds sharply in his favor.
What, top rope C4? No, Shiima counters. Shiima Xion is now near his comfort zone. Top rope. But did the C4 take too much out of him? Apparently it did.
Swift punch to the nose to set him straight.
DeMarco, beautiful suplex.
Rolls through.
One of the most picture-perfect weapons in DeMarco's arsenal, that suplex, the float over. Is it enough? No. And as we mentioned, gentlemen, Jimmy DeMarco doesn't choose to show it a lot, but he has great, great technique and ring savvy.
5 minutes.
Shiima barely kicked out.
And Shiima heavily favoring the back. And gentlemen, this is where fatigue sets in. These men, this is their 4th match in just a little over 24 hours. And it's starting to show. And certainly it's time to dig down deep and find something you may have not known you had.
Right now, Joe, these two men got to go to another place. They got to go to another existence in their own self-being. They got to go somewhere darker than anybody could ever imagine. And right now, they are going at it as if they have reached that place. Yeah, they are tired, but they are going at it like two bulls. Crazy. Look at that big backdrop by Shiima Xion. Are you kidding me, Foghorn? Get amped up for this. This is good stuff here.
I'm absolutely amped up for this. Two of my favorite competitors in IWC competing for the biggest prize of them all.
And Shima's feeling it right now.
Oh!
Up and down.
Vocational guidance counselor, that could be it.
The VGC gives him the hostile makeover, and that's 2-0.
DeMarco's digging deep, guys. He's digging deep. He will not give up, but Shiima, if he stays on top of him, it could be over.
Keeping in mind, Shiima Xion survived Ray Rowe, survived John McChesney. DeMarco survived Dennis Gregory. M-Dog, Drake Younger, look out! Into C4 from the top! DeMarco's got the belt! No! Another kick out. Another near fall.
And DeMarco has to start wondering, what is it going to take?
That's DeMarco's pet weapon. He's broken it out twice in the early going, but neither time Xion was dazed enough to finish the situation. And now both men from their knees. Fatigue setting in big time. These guys have been running on pure adrenaline for probably much of this tournament, and now finally somebody's body is going to expire.
And just open-handed slaps, dude. Oh!
Side of the jaw. Lost to dust to DeMarco. Could this be all? No! Another near fall.
Jimmy DeMarco showing some serious resiliency.
And despite being excommunicated from the family earlier tonight, DeMarco fights on. 6:30. Did Shiima get all of it? Shiima with a 6:30. He did. He's done it. Shiima Xion.
Can you believe it? Shiima Xion, the new IWC.
The winner and new IWC champion, Shiima Xion.
The future of fan reactions Chest Butcher's been getting. We've seen Vicky Gambino out here very uninterested. When DeMarco wouldn't lay down and let Vicky Gambino family. DeMarco wouldn't be just another minion. And from there, it was time to choose sides. Vendetta went with his longtime tag partner. Butcher and Ferrari stuck with the family business. Tonight, it all comes to a head as the Gambino family explodes in physical and violent fashion. And since the split, Jimmy DeMarco has become a cult phenomenon, a fan favorite, a winner of 4 IWC Year-End Awards, and yes, that's a record, beating AJ Styles' previous record of 3.
I should also point out he's apparently on Notorious Norm's blacklist, being that he was the other one mentioned while Norm was yelling at Shiima Xion.
And again, I say about Shiima, Jimmy DeMarco earned every single thing he's gotten in this business and then some. He deserved to be where he's at, and he deserves to be where he is in the feature matchup tonight of one of IWC's biggest shows ever. And the street fight is on, folks. Do what you want, bring what you want. It is a war of attrition.
I should point out, conspicuous by her absence, Miss Gambino.
Yes.
Not here.
Well, I'll tell you this, we saw her last month out here during the Gambino tag match, and she was on her phone, she was minding her own business, she wasn't even watching the match. She wasn't paying attention. It seems that she is really just sick and tired of watching her charges fight amongst themselves.
Well, they're not just her charges. I mean, you're talking about 2 of her brothers and her cousin,
sure,
and a lifelong friend in Vendetta.
Sure.
This has got to be hard for them. You always say blood is thicker than water, even in pro wrestling. But what that means is, even when something like that falls apart, we've seen these guys go at each other in the ring. We've seen these guys go at each other in the streets. And they send videotapes in. The Gambinos attack their cousin in the street and send us a videotape for the website. That's just cold.
Well, they certainly are proud of their doings, so to speak. And DeMarco's got some plunder. Steel chair. And Mickey walked right into it. And you can see his head snap back on impact.
Might have lost a tooth there.
Looked like Mickey was going for the save for Marshall, and Jimmy DeMarco realized it.
Oh, God. I believe Marshall caught DeMarco and slammed him again on that unprotected floor. That is basketball floor with a thin padding, not even a padding, a covering.
It's a rubber covering that we use to make sure the floor doesn't get scratched. Nobody cares about DeMarco's body.
I'd put it at about a 16.
Oh, God!
Least of all his cousin, Marshall Gambino.
That was a straight chair shot to the back of the head. The chair is dented, and I can only imagine the damage it did to Jimmy DeMarco.
And we see Chest Flexor looking for more chairs.
And this is only the beginning of a long, arduous, painful road. You know, keep in mind, gentlemen, whenever we saw the Gambinos' assaults in the past, that was just business. This is personal. We may see the end of a career in this matchup. I would not be surprised to see the end of a career in this matchup. They're going to do as much as they possibly can within legal bounds to one another to prove their side is right.
Crowd's chanting for blood. I don't think we're going to be disappointed if I know the Gambino brothers, and I do.
Well, Marshall Gambino's rearranging furniture.
Maybe he's getting ready for a sit-down with everyone.
Yeah, I'm sure. Let's have a verbal debate.
They'll just talk it out.
I've actually seen him do this before. This is not going to be good for Vendetta here.
Not in the least.
Uh-oh.
Oh, look out.
This in
no. Oh, no, look out! Vendetta's spine bent across 4 steel chairs. The chairs did not give an inch. All the impact absorbed by Vendetta's spine.
No, I think the one actually bent a little bit. It gave a little.
And Vendetta's hurt. Vendetta is seriously hurt here, and that may leave this to 2-on-1. And Stephen Coulter, I know it's a street fight, but we got to worry about people's livelihoods here.
Who's this? Who is this?
I believe that's our doctor, and he's getting manhandled.
Wait, our doctor?
Well, and the Gambinos aren't satisfied. They are not satisfied until Vendetta is not moving. This is the curse. They're setting up for the curse early.
With the chair.
You already have an injured back? Look out! Oh, right in the head. Right in the head. May have a broken back, may have a concussion. How can Vendetta possibly continue after that?
He may have thought twice before ever signing on for this match, is what he may have thought.
These are the stakes it's come to. There's no turning back now.
Did you expect any less from the Gambinos?
We have IWC security taking Vendetta from the ring. He's hurt.
Security as well as the doctor.
He's unconscious.
I feel so bad for Vendetta, but what is this going to do to Jimmy DeMarco? DeMarco's all alone.
Jimmy just lifted the middle rope as the Gambino brothers tried to leave. So right now, he's an advantage. Uh-oh.
Vendetta's been taken to the back.
And Jimmy's got to fight like he's never fought before. A steel ladder. Will it be enough? Will it be his new tag team partner?
It's gonna have to be. Wait a minute, he's climbing the ladder?
He's setting, look out. Setting up for something right in the back.
DeMarco not known for high five.
Oh God. Straight impact. DeMarco, we've known for years he's not right in the head. He may not have the best decision-making process. Oh, no! Oh, God!
On the butcher where he caught the ring rope with his foot, didn't get all of it.
DeMarco
Hurting another body out.
risking his life to make sure the entourage, the flunkies, do not get involved in this matchup, and it may have been a fatal mistake in regards to this matchup. And this may have been attrition. This may have been one-by-one dissection of the Hollywood Balls by the Gambinos. This may be proof you do not mess with the family.
He wasn't used to high flying.
Oh, and they're not done. They are relentless.
I don't know that this is the match I would pick to try out my high-flying abilities.
No. Well, he had to do something. He had to take a risk. He was outnumbered 4-1, and he knew it was only a matter of time. DeMarco took out 2 of those 4, but the bad news, he may have taken out himself permanently.
Yeah, but Jimmy DeMarco doubled tough. I mean, look, he's standing after that, which is an impressive feat.
He's
barely
laying against the ring rope. I mean, this is academic at this point.
And now they're going to have fun. Now they're going to have fun teaching a lesson to the cousin that would not obey. They don't want to beat him. They want to torture him. They want to make him suffer. Mafia-like street tactics in this street fight.
Oh, they're not done.
Not by a long shot.
Well, remember, this isn't just a wrestling match. The Gambino brothers literally put a hit out on Jimmy DeMarco.
This is nowhere near a wrestling match.
They're not even just trying to end his career. They may very well be trying to end his life here tonight, legally, in front of all these fans.
You can forget about top contenders for the tag titles. You can forget about rankings. You can forget about the winner's share of the purse. This is all about sending a message. All about teaching Jimmy DeMarco to fall back in line.
I don't even know if they're teaching Jimmy DeMarco. This is a message to everyone else. This is their cousin. If they're willing to do this to their cousin, crushing his throat here, what are they willing to do to anybody else who gets in their way?
Anything it takes. That's what we've seen, and they may take it to another level. Remember, Mav, before it's been business, now it's personal, and that is very, very scary. Oh, no. DeMarco hits the ladder. Nowhere to go. This is getting tough to watch. You know, I haven't always, in fact, I very rarely agreed with Jimmy DeMarco's sentiments, a lot of his lifestyles, but this is not This is not what we need here. This is not what we need to cap off a show like this.
And what's worse, you know, Norm Connor's already said he doesn't really respect Jimmy DeMarco. There's no Vendetta's been taken out. Vicky Gambino, who knows where she is? There's no help coming out. Nobody is coming to save Jimmy DeMarco here. This is it. You're about to see a man killed.
I mean, DeMarco,
on television.
as many times as we joke about it, he's a deviant. He's not all there socially. A lot of people don't want to be around him, and it's coming back to haunt him at this point.
I don't think he has any friends left.
The Gambinos know it. Oh! I think he just made a couple friends.
He's got the 10-finger equalizer.
DeMarco with a few Italian meatballs.
Does not release his grip there.
Oh my God! Oh my! Oh!
You call him a deviant.
With all due respect to you-know-who, we may have a new dirtiest player in town.
Let's just say the Gambinos may now be the Sopranos.
Check out Mickey. DeMarco, big time mistake. Try to go to the top rope after all he's taken.
Not used to high flying.
No.
Wait a minute.
Oh! To the base of the spine. Pinpoint precision by 300 pounds of Marshall the Bull. And they both got chairs. This is vicious. It's vile.
Did you expect anything less from the Gambinos?
Absolutely not, but I expected it to be a 2-on-2 fight.
Come on, at best you expected a 4-on-2 fight.
Well, that's true as well. But I didn't expect DeMarco to be a man alone on the recipient of these shots. These sickening shots. DeMarco trying to cover up. It's all he can do.
They don't care. Rolls to his stomach to not get hit in the face. Rolls to his back to not get hit on the back. He's done.
This is 500 pounds combined of pissed off Italian. And no one to stop it.
And now what are they planning to do with that ladder?
I shudder to think. This. Oh, God, a spine buster. And this goes so far beyond what we've seen, maybe not far beyond what we expected to see, unfortunately. But Jimmy DeMarco, as great as it was, no regrets, stand up for yourself, don't make the mistakes that other people have, take advantage of your opportunities. It may be costing him his career right now.
There's a price for that attitude. It's all admirable to say stand up to the bully and, you know, and fight the good fight. But you don't always win the good fight, Joe.
Oh, he may not survive the fight. 300-pound splash on the ladder.
The biggest frog, and he's done that before. That's the biggest frog splash in this company.
Never done it with a ladder, though. Never done it with DeMarco's body the way it was. Flexor and Ferrari are back up, but as if anybody needs them at this point.
It's effectively 4-on-1.
And notice, gentlemen, the tremendous lack of pinning attempts in this matchup. What are they going to have to do to be happy?
They're going to kill him. I told you. I mean, I've known these guys a long time, too. I never liked them, as you'll remember. They're a bunch of bugs. They're going to kill him. That's how it ends.
Jimmy's seriously hurt. Jimmy is seriously hurt.
Again,
I understand problems here. I understand that, it's a street fight, but I mean,
again,
Jimmy's hurt severely, and he's bleeding. We've seen him bleed before. And the doctor is trying to do his damn job. He's not here to be abused. He's not part of this roster or this company. No. Don't.
Gambino.
That'll get you in jail.
This is their cousin.
That'll get you in. Wait a second.
Oh my God!
How is Vendetta? Oh God! How is Vendetta up? Vendetta's back. How is he returned? How is he walking? How is he conscious? But he had to, for his partner, for his friend. As polar opposite as they are, he had to help his friend. There's a Lou Thesz press.
The only friend that Jimmy DeMarco has, and it's his best friend right now.
Or at least the only friend that was willing to get in the ring for him.
And the one that may end up saving his life. Look out.
Slam coming up. Mickey into Marshall.
And here we go. Here come the reserves.
Flexer and Ferrari getting their cheap shots in. And now this is not right. They are not a part of this match.
It's a street fight. Everybody, I mean, come on. You're facing the Gambino brothers. You have the Gambino in a regular wrestling match. When have you ever seen the Gambino brothers compete in a fair fight?
I get it. I get it. That doesn't make it right.
Wait a minute.
What is this? What is just? Wait a second. Friction among the entourage, and now a double Uranagi, a double rock bottom. Flexer went ballistic. Him and Ferrari paid for it.
The ring is littered with broken bones, weapons, and buttons at this point.
I think we've seen Chess Flexor get involved in a couple of matches recently. You know, I think he's finally been set up.
We'll have to investigate what that blow-up was about. But right now,
15 minutes gone by, 15 minutes.
right now, I'm just concerned about everybody's well-being and survival.
He was angry at everybody.
Flexor just prompted the bat.
And Ferrari's giving chase.
And I think they learned the hard way. Leave this to the contestants in the ring. I can't even say contestants because this is not a contest. It is a fight.
Well, it's finally 2-on-2, but I think it's a little too late here.
I might be inclined to agree with that, as unfortunate as it may be. Oh! More trademark Gambino double teams. Oh, God. They're back.
They're back. They're on the same page. They're on the same page again.
And they got a table. They have a weapon. A lethal weapon. And they just gave it to Marshall Gambino. Flexor and Ferrari remember where their bread is buttered, so to speak.
Well, I mean, don't cross the family. I don't even know if it's about money at this point.
Well, yeah.
Would you turn on these two?
They've seen that the hard way the past 15 minutes.
And I want you to think about all the abuse they have inflicted so far, and they've decided it's not enough.
Yeah, again, no pins.
I don't believe they tried once.
Not at all. They have not tried to win this matchup. It's not about winning. It's about maiming. It's about crippling. It's about destroying.
Now, we see Mickey Gambino fly every once in a while, too.
Mickey's on top.
Not going to end well for Vendetta.
Mickey's well north of 200 pounds. He's got a lot of power in that upper body. He's measuring Vendetta.
And
what is he
I think he just told Marshall.
Come on. You got to be kidding me.
To get the ladder.
DeMarco. A last-ditch effort. Mickey with the elbow. Nobody home.
The legs of the table bend. The wood does not break.
Mickey's body absorbed much of the impact. Wait, cover? Can they do it? No! Their one chance to escape this was survival, and it does not work.
Mickey said, get the ladder so I can jump higher. Marshall went to get the ladder, and it looks like things just got turned around. Uh-oh.
Look out! Vendetta sends Mickey through. Vendetta can never be looked over at either. Vendetta fighting fire with fire.
Took a little bit of himself, though. That's the problem with this kind of match.
Maybe not because he wants to, but because he needs to. For the safety of his career. Is that all? 2? No! Mickey got out of it. Steve Coulter's hurt. He's been kneed in the title match. He's been hurt in this match.
So Marshall didn't try to break up the pin because, again, he doesn't care about winning or losing. He was going to maim his, well, not his cousin, but his lifelong friend, one way or the other.
Whether the match ended or not, that's right. The bell means nothing. Wins and losses mean nothing. And DeMarco, still standing defiant, will not back down. If you can't respect that attitude, no matter if you're the boss or anybody else, if you can't respect that, then you're not breathing.
And we got another table in the ring, gentlemen.
DeMarco went low.
Oh, he was looking for the Pearl River Hurricane Rana.
Oh! And it worked! Oh! Another spine-cracking maneuver.
He's already injured that.
DeMarco had no control over his own body, vaulted in the air by possibly the most powerful man in this company. And now, whatever they were planning on doing with the table, they obviously did not execute. Time for plan B.
Time for a second table, apparently.
One thing to understand about Marshall Gambino, Marshall is called the Bull. Marshall the Bull, the baby bull Gambino. He didn't get that. That's not a wrestling nickname.
No.
No, that's a nickname from the streets. You're talking about one of the strongest men. You always say strongest pound for pound. He's 300 pounds. He is one of the strongest men in the world, possibly.
DeMarco is laid prone and lifeless on that table. As
No, he's not!
DeMarco
Equalizer again.
may have been playing a little possum, and DeMarco explodes. He fires up.
Wait a minute.
With his life perhaps on the line.
Headbutt from Marshall Gambino.
Oh no. Went to that open wound.
Going well for anybody.
No. No! That's 6 inches from hell.
Done.
But I believe DeMarco was taken to hell and beyond. But it wasn't enough. Vendetta saves this match.
6 inches from hell. That was 6 inches below hell.
If DeMarco is walking within the next week after this matchup, he deserves every amount of accolade, every amount of achievement that could be bestowed on somebody.
And nice guy Mickey dumps Vendetta to the outside.
Now you'll notice Marshall actually made a pin attempt there because the one saving grace for the Balls right now is the Gambinos might have had enough. Might be tired of being the
Not sure what it was, but it damn sure hurts.
Spine buster.
Yeah, it looked like a spine buster from here. And Mickey is just laying there.
Might have snapped his head on that steel ramp.
Mickey is motionless. Vendetta, look out. Face first in the chair. And Vendetta's momentum, he tried to put on the brakes, but his momentum was his enemy.
Another table? You've got to be kidding me.
That's number 3. The stakes have been upped yet again.
3 tables, 4 chairs,
a ladder,
and what, about a dozen buttons?
And a dozen broken bodies. Imagine Marshall Gambino, imagine how riddled with pain he is. Imagine everybody else who's even worse off than him because they can barely move.
Oh no.
Marshall with more evil intentions. DeMarco can't stand under his own power, and again, sent right on top of that table. Whether he realized it or not, he realized it last time, but now, again, with his head bounced off of the table like it was off of the car hood last month.
And he just did a spinning motion with his hands.
Are you kidding me? Oh, wait a second. Wait a minute. Wait a second.
And Jimmy, a burst of energy getting to the top.
Oh, fire! Marshall through the table! Powerbomb did it! The Bulls survived the streets!
Mickey. Mickey tried to get in for the save, but couldn't get there. Jimmy DeMarco, maybe playing a little possum again, picked his spot and it paid off.
The Hollywood Balls survived the streets. And as I mentioned a moment ago, we were all just reminded, the only men that were tough enough to hang with the Gambinos on the streets and do all these hits were the Hollywood Balls. The Gambinos forgot everything they taught and instilled in their cousin and his partner.
They should be proud that they survived, the fact that they won is icing on the cake, frankly.
And folks, if this isn't evidence for those first-time viewers out there, what IWC brings to the table, what we're all about, what we provide, the energy, the emotion, the drama that no other independent promotion is doing in this country today, in the ring has been Exhibit A for the past 2+ hours. Capped off with an amazingly physical street fight. Gentlemen, it's been one of the biggest IWC shows ever. Record-setting crowd from the Courtside Sports Center. Where can we go from here? And deserves more respect and opportunity than just about anybody in this organization.
His opponent weighs in 200 pounds. Fans, he is Jimmy DeMarco.
Since DeMarco's change of heart, since his departure from the family,
Ladies and gentlemen, during this contest, since it is no rules and anything goes, no one is permitted to touch anything involved, and folks, chances are if the action spills to the outside, please get out of the way.
Necro Butcher was hired by Norm Connors to eliminate Jimmy DeMarco. And I've had a chance to talk to DeMarco. He is a friend of mine. We don't have a lot of things in common, obviously, but what we do have is a respect for this company, a respect for this business, and I respect everything Jimmy DeMarco has done for this company, even though it goes unappreciated by those in the front office. More than unappreciated, punished. DeMarco being punished for being in the main event at our heavyweight title tournament, punished for being more popular than Norm, more successful than Norm's chosen ones. And now, Jimmy DeMarco has to look into the mouth of hell, knowing that after this match, he may never ever be the same again. Necro Butcher's reputation spans the world over. Europe, Japan, prominently featured in the feature full-length movie The Wrestler. Necro Butcher is the most infamous underground cult sensation in professional wrestling, and it's not hype. It is not t-shirt slogans. Necro Butcher can legitimately maim and end people's careers, if not worse. But DeMarco, one thing you can always say about him, he is tough, he is gutsy, possibly oftentimes to a fault, and he will not quit and he will not back down from Necro Butcher, reputation or not. Matchup spilling all over these stands here. A very dangerous environment for not just the participants, but all the fans, and a trash can right to Jimmy DeMarco, and you can hear the impact, thrown with reckless abandon. As I mentioned, Necro Butcher is paid specifically to take out Jimmy DeMarco. And we've seen already one example tonight of how DeMarco has helped make Norm Connors' life miserable. They're all the way back by our partition here, our separation.
Hey, that's a wall.
DeMarco just hit face first into that solid wall in the back of the building. Our great crew here, Tony F, from Digital Horizons, DHvideos.com, trying to follow this chaos as best we can. Necro Butcher's wearing the top of a garbage can right now, as DeMarco is still trying to fight his way out here. DeMarco fighting for survival, fighting for his life, his well-being, his career, his health, against a man that just does not give a damn about himself, about others, about anything, but hurting people and enjoying it. And just raking and digging away. Look at this sadistic madman, Necro Butcher. Another knife-edge chop onto Jimmy DeMarco. Thankfully, we're at least back over the guardrail now. ready to resume activity here. Joined now once again by Eric Ecstasy, who certainly had a rough go of things in that prior match. We'd love to talk about it, Eric, but there's just no time because this is a very pivotal matchup here where Jimmy DeMarco is literally just being strangled with these cords, and now we're rearranging guardrails. Oh my God.
You know, Joe, I don't lose often. I don't like to talk about it. I had to come out and see this live and in Technicolor right now.
Oh, look at it, just driving the guardrail into Jimmy DeMarco's head. This is hard to watch. And this is what Norm Connors wanted to see. This is damn disgusting.
This is revenge, Joe.
Revenge my ass. This is a public execution.
You know, me and Jimmy have had our differences, but this is ridiculous.
Oh God, we have fans falling over. It's chaos here. And it pales in comparison to what Jimmy's going through right now. And
we better get ready to move.
They're coming over here.
Brace yourself, Joey D.
I'm gonna see you.
This is insane.
DeMarco into the chairs, and Necro gonna bury Jimmy DeMarco under these solid steel chairs.
This isn't wrestling, Joe. This is a massacre.
This is not wrestling at all. But this is what Norm wants, right? This will make things better. This is running IWC for one damn person, and that's the guy in charge.
Joe, I don't even know what to tell you at this point, Joe. Oh, God.
Come on, Jimmy! Jimmy, Jesse, come on, Jimmy! Kick his ass, Necro! Oh! Oh!
Camera, watch camera.
Hey, where's my camera? Don't take out the camera! Oh, what the hell is on? Oh! That guy's...
Well, DeMarco just threw a guy in a wheelchair.
DeMarco just used a handicapped individual to his advantage. That is a first at IWC, Joe.
DeMarco has life. For the love of God, he has life. But just like...
Talk about a foreign object, Joe.
Well, yeah. Now, he's American, but...
A handicapped object was used.
Eric, I invite you to sit back down here. We've lost some chairs.
Joe, I'm happy I'm safe right now.
Yes.
The comfort of my own chair.
That's more than we can say for Jimmy right now, unfortunately. And how does this help the company, Eric? You move up a little closer to the microphone if you please, but how does this help Jimmy DeMarco? How does this help this company? This helps Norm.
Norm Connors is arrogant. He's always been that way. You know, we deal with it in the back. These fans didn't know what Norm was like, and this is obviously his years of frustration. Indie wrestling, it can do that to you. Norm is taking out his frustration on everybody he feels wronged him.
You know
Me,
what?
Justin, Gambinos, and now Jimmy, and Jimmy seems to be the prime target.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Concussion City.
Joe, I'm just waiting for Jimmy to have life. I mean, it's taken away immediately.
Stop the damn match. That's enough. Norm proved his damn point. Necro Butcher came in, he did his thing. Let's stop this, okay? And you've had your issues with Jimmy in the past. I've had my issues with Jimmy in the past. But we both got to respect him for the sacrifices he makes, for the hard work he puts into performing, to wrestling, to entertaining, to all. I've been on the road with Jimmy DeMarco. I've seen him do some weird friggin' things, some out there things, because he loves this business.
Oh, Joe, Jimmy is busted open
God.
and Necro's raking the cut.
You know what? I've been on the road with Jimmy DeMarco. I've been in cars with him, wondering when he's going to stop bleeding. I've seen the sacrifice he puts in. I've seen what he's earned.
Oh.
That's disgusting.
This is sick, Joe. This is not wrestling.
I have seen DeMarco give it his all to get where he is in this business. And for some pompous ass to tell him he doesn't deserve his spot and book him in this match is damn disgusting. That's not wrestling.
It's not wrestling, Joe.
And we knew it wouldn't be. And I give Jimmy a ton of credit because he's not dead right now. He's not motionless.
I don't know how he's not.
No disrespect to you, but that's more than either of us could probably say.
Definitely. I might have hopped the plane on out of here already.
Exactly. But Jimmy has no fear. Again, guts potentially to a fault.
Absolutely. I mean, we've been out here a while here, Joe. I haven't seen Jimmy. I just haven't seen it. I don't know. I think this was too much for him.
Well, I mean, it's Necro Butcher. I mean, he's known the world over. He's been in full-length movies. He's been in multiple countries. Necro Butcher is the most sadistic individual in professional wrestling.
It's the first time I've seen him up close, Joe. I'm speechless.
I've heard stories, and I've seen some video clips. For those of you watching on, oh, check this out, DeMarco! What toughness! What tenacity! DeMarco's still fighting!
Crimson mask and all, DeMarco does not stop.
I have no idea how DeMarco's doing it, but he's still in this thing.
This is amazing, Joe. The crowd behind Jimmy is always, you know, a lot of times our crowd, when they see a new face, they like them, but I tell you what, nobody can match the popularity of Jimmy DeMarco right now.
Certainly, there's a lot of things about Jimmy DeMarco that others could only hope to match. There's a lot of things about Jimmy DeMarco that Norm Connors could only hope to match.
Exactly. And just when you thought Jimmy had the edge, it looks like the tables are turned again.
Well, we've seen a sign or two of life, but oh God, just dropped him back first on the edge of that steel guardrail.
This is sick, Joe.
That could have broken his spine.
This is hard to watch.
It's very hard to watch.
Hard to watch.
And to know that our damn boss is taking some sick pleasure in this makes it even worse.
To know, Joe, that the fact that we're speaking out against him, this could be us next show.
It could be.
That's a scary thought in and of itself. Oh, Butcher's going up to the ramp.
Can it get much worse? I shudder to think. But Jimmy is still...
Is there even a need for a referee at this point?
Jimmy is still crawling towards a fight. He's still crawling towards Necro Butcher. And that is commendable as hell.
I can't even watch it.
Oh no. Well, Necro's got some furniture placed very precariously. Those are open chairs. Oh my God.
That could have been what Jimmy needed. Oh.
And DeMarco got dropped.
And that's nothing but steel, Joe.
That's right. That's steel and a little bit of wood mixed in with it. Steel beams, wood boards, and a steel ramp right below them, steel chairs right next to them.
Crowd coming alive for Jimmy again. Let's hope he can use it.
Well, but is it futile with the... Oh, no. No. No! God! Jesus! That's it.
That has to be it.
Can we ring the bell?
Jimmy's still kicking.
Okay. Norm, you prove your point. You're the omnipotent, all-being, whatever. But
I just want to see Jimmy fight back at some point. I mean, this is sick.
I want to see Jimmy have a career. I want to see Jimmy here next month. That's what I'm concerned about right now.
Who's going to suck his muscles now? I mean, they might be unsuckable at this point. It's not to joke, but
no. But I mean, that is part of Jimmy DeMarco's personality, and that may be the last we see of it.
Yeah.
That's the painful truth here.
He's wanting a count out, but I'm pretty sure that rule was waived.
Yeah. Well,
Jimmy is back in the ring,
and Jimmy
DeMarco for more.
Jimmy walked back to the ring. He needed help, but he walked back to the ring, and he's begging for more. And Jimmy, again, the guts, the determination, the desire to stick it to the boss, to rise up above this, but...
I mean, any normal man, even a superhuman man would have quit by now. Jimmy is calling for more.
Oh, camel clutch.
We could see a submission here.
DeMarco may pass out from the pain.
Joe, I don't know if you're aware of this, but this is their actual wrestling hold.
This is. That's the first we've seen.
The first in this one.
Maybe the last. I mean, you look at all the the people who are viewed as some of the best hardcore type wrestlers, the high pain threshold, guys like Mick Foley or you know, Mr. Pogo in Japan, or even a guy like Ray Rowe. Very few times in their career have any of these guys been through something this severe.
I know, exactly.
And this one-sided. But Jimmy's still fighting. And Jimmy got a low blow.
You can always count on a low blow from Jimmy here and there.
Jimmy DeMarco, resourceful as ever, pulls something out here. Back suplex.
Go for the pin, Jimmy. Come on.
Jimmy, he's got to get out of this. I admire Jimmy DeMarco more so now than ever, but he's got to finish this match any way possible.
He couldn't even lift the Butcher at this point.
Not at all.
And that stinky foot to the face.
Well, DeMarco's been dropped on his back so many times from so many awkward angles. I am legitimately amazed he can stand and walk. Side rush and leg sweep, that's 2, and DeMarco kicked out!
He kicked out, Joe. This is amazing.
Oh, Jimmy.
Jimmy, just stay down. I mean, fight another day.
That's the smart move, but I've never seen Jimmy lay down. No matter
still behind him.
No matter who it was, whether it was the family, way back to Ray Rowe, way back to the start of his career, J-Rock, Jake Garrett, a lot of bad men have tried to take Jimmy DeMarco down, but he's never stayed down.
He's still here. And one of IWC's top stars.
Whether the boss wants to admit it or not. He may be forced to admit it if Jimmy DeMarco can survive this, but that is a very huge if right now.
I don't even know if Necro is looking to win at this point. It's obvious Norm paid him to do a job.
Oh,
and that was the end of his career.
Absolutely. And Necro takes great pleasure with that. He's got a chair again.
Oh, this is just, somebody needs to stop it.
And you feel good when you see Jimmy get these spurts of offense and another kick out. It goes right back to just, again, being hard to watch.
I mean, raking the cut in his forehead over and over. I mean, what a sick man.
And Jimmy DeMarco is still running his mouth in Jimmy fashion.
Still running his mouth.
Oh, God. A slam onto the chair, and I don't believe that chair was entirely folded, which just makes the impact even worse.
At some point, this has to, somebody needs, and Jimmy is up.
Well, he's not up, but he has signs of life. He's on to his knees.
He's calling for more.
Jimmy trying to show that his spirit and his body will not be broken by Norm's tyrannical reign.
Oh, God.
But how much is too much?
That has to be it, Joe.
Necro's not going to stop arbitrarily. He's having fun.
A powerbomb alone.
That's got to be it.
Oh, my God.
But Jimmy again kicks out.
A powerbomb alone should be enough to finish it, let alone on a stack of steel chairs.
There's going to be no ref stop. There's going to be no curfew time limit here. There's no way out of this.
There's no way.
But to get pinned.
Somebody needs to throw in the towel, something.
Somebody does. Bobby Williams, fast count DeMarco. Just do something.
I mean, somebody's got to take the responsibility here.
I understand pride. I understand his hatred for Norm, but I mean, it can't go this far. And I'd love to see Necro Butcher here as a regular competitor. I'd love to see him as one of the IWC elite, but not if he's doing stuff like this.
Absolutely not.
He's not here for competition right now.
This is not a place that you want to do this. You go to Japan, you go to Philly. You don't come to the IWC.
Superplex, perhaps. Wrestling move it is, but...
And you hear the fans saying this doesn't look good. I have to agree with him.
Not much has, to be honest with you. And my heart goes out to Jimmy right now.
Jimmy's got some life.
Wait a second. Powerbomb. Necro's hanging on.
All right, Jimmy.
Necro dropped in the chairs. Didn't have a ton of muscle behind it, but it created some time. It may have created an opening.
That might have been it, Joe. I'm telling you.
But what the hell is Jimmy going to do now? Jimmy may be single-handedly proving to be the toughest man on this whole by God roster, but there's still a relatively fresh Necro Butcher to contend with.
Jimmy could be looking for the cookie cutter.
It's a victory for Jimmy just to stand at this point, let alone fight.
Yeah, it makes it out of here alive. He's won.
But he's fighting. I cannot believe this. Modified Bulldog.
Onto the chairs.
Come on, three. No. Damn it.
You got to think just as tough as Jimmy, Necro has to be up there too. How much punishment is he going to be able to take?
That's true. Necro Butcher has been through an ungodly amount of punishment in his life. I couldn't even begin to list.
Get onto the chairs.
The beyond gruesome things he's been through. Again, Necro gets dropped. That's right. The DDT. Is that going to be 3? No. And Jimmy, he's trying, but he does not have that luster behind it that he usually does. His entire body has got to be racked with pain right now.
I'm not even sure what he's running on right now.
Absolutely not.
At this point, he has to be numb.
Jimmy's got the chair, though. He's got the chair. Look out for the head. Necro Butcher is
And it had an effect. It had an effect.
But he's not down.
Again.
Look out. No, it duck. Oh, no. Choke slam. Choke slam on the chair. Not more. No. Tiger bomb. That's got to be. No, get Jimmy kicked out.
Jimmy kicked out.
These are moves that would put a man away in a normal situation, let alone on top of solid steel.
Let alone after 20 minutes of the worst punishment I've ever seen in my life.
And granted, I was a fan of Jimmy DeMarco before this match, but I have unheralded newfound respect for Jimmy DeMarco.
Respect is the word. I couldn't agree with you more when you said toughest man in IWC.
You know, he won.
Rowe, I don't care. That man is the toughest man I've seen.
He started the win over respect when he rebelled against the family, became his own man, but this takes it off the charts. If anybody ever doubts what Jimmy DeMarco means to this company, this is Exhibit A of why DeMarco is one of the top players.
No, look at this.
C4!
Oh, the cookie cutter on the chair!
On the edge of the chair. Necro's breathing may have been cut off. His throat may have been crushed. Backslide, shoulders down, and he did it!
It ends with a backslide, Joe.
Here's your winner, delicious Jimmy DeMarco.
Unreal.
I have no idea how in the hell Jimmy DeMarco did that. I don't think Jimmy DeMarco knows how Jimmy DeMarco did that, but this is a big you to the boss right now. His hired assassin came up empty.
The biggest upset in IWC history, has to be.
It must be. DeMarco proved he belongs. He proved that he's worthy.
Wait a minute, Joe. No, Necro's not done.
Oh no.
Wait a minute.
Well.
Wait a minute. Could this be all part of NCON's plan? I mean, what?
Let's see.
Wait a minute. Rowe's in the ring. Wait a second.
Here's your opponent, from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Weighs in at 210 pounds. He's Dr. Delicious Jimmy DeMarco.
Will Dr. Delicious's prescription for perversion be enough to overcome the emotionless assassin and the baddest man in IWC? Jimmy DeMarco has been on the front line of the battle against the crooked politics of the IWC's management. Jimmy DeMarco was shafted and wronged, told he didn't deserve his spot, didn't deserve to be in the main event, in the spotlight. And DeMarco damn near killed himself to get through Necro Butcher to prove his detractors wrong. And DeMarco now more popular and respected than ever before because of it.
Well, you have to give Jimmy DeMarco credit. The match he had with the Necro Butcher, unbelievable. I couldn't believe Jimmy DeMarco lived through that match. But the Prince of Perversion, the Doctor of Debauchery, is in for his toughest test, in my opinion, and the toughest man in IWC, Ray Rowe. Ray Rowe is a wrecking machine. And you can see in their eyes right now as they stare down, this is all business for Ray Rowe.
Now we've touched on the deep amount of personal disdain that exists between these two men throughout the wrestling business whenever they've encountered one another. Notably here as well, keep in mind once Ray Rowe was unleashed in IWC, once he became the emotionless assassin, once he became part of the Cleveland Mafia, really, I believe the first man to pin him was Jimmy DeMarco some years ago, and I don't think Ray Rowe ever forgot about that.
Well, Ray Rowe doesn't take any loss lightly. I mean, if you remember back a few years ago when he lost to Samoa Joe, that really lit a fire under Ray Rowe. That really changed Ray Rowe's entire complexion in this company. And right now, you're just seeing some huge haymakers, some violent shots from Ray Rowe and Jimmy DeMarco.
We're seeing the fist, a vicious chop, and bounty or no bounty, I don't think Ray Rowe's changed his game plan up one bit. And DeMarco spitting in the face of Ray Rowe, spitting in the face of adversity, spitting in the face of Norm Connor's obstacles. That is, oh God, did you see how hard DeMarco hit?
Jimmy DeMarco is unbelievable. The amount of punishment that this guy can take is ridiculous. If you want to call it testicular fortitude, whatever you want to call it, but the bottom line is Ray Rowe is already in this match dished out more punishment than most can take, and Jimmy D is begging for more.
DeMarco firing back. And when you look at, you talk about heart, you talk about the fortitude, how can you look at that effort? Whether it's against Rowe, Necro Butcher, anybody we've seen DeMarco against, how can you look at this effort and tell yourself and tell anybody else DeMarco doesn't deserve something in this business? DeMarco has gone through the school of hard knocks. He's paid price after price to get where he is.
Absolutely. I mean, let's be honest. Jimmy DeMarco was the clown prince of IWC for quite some time. And only in the last couple of months, year, if you will, have we really started to see what Jimmy DeMarco can do.
Shoulder first in the post.
Starting last September when Jimmy DeMarco chose not to lay down for Mickey Gambino so that he could get into the heavyweight title tournament. Jimmy DeMarco almost won that title tournament. Jimmy DeMarco was right in the mix there for the heavyweight title. And then you saw that violent match where him and his partner, the former Hollywood Balds, against the Gambinos. I mean, that was a bloodbath of a match. Jimmy DeMarco has really staked his claim as one of the top guys in IWC here. He just has to get through Ray Rowe to really plant the flag.
And we really didn't expect that out of Jimmy DeMarco in the past. A lot of times you look at his reputation, his over-the-top personality, his antics, and it's really easy to overlook DeMarco's technical skills, his toughness, and his success in the ring. But DeMarco's making people take notice of that, whether they like to, being the fans, or whether they don't, being in the front office.
You know, I will slightly agree with you here. However, again, as we talked about earlier on who you want representing your company, you know, do you want the Clown Prince representing your company? And I can understand why Norm Connors, making a smart business decision, would put the belt on Ray Rowe, helping Ray Rowe get over Shiima Xion, to have somebody like Ray Rowe, a former mixed martial artist, somebody who, Ray Rowe was just in a Hollywood movie with Kurt Angle.
That's true. That's
Ray Rowe is, I mean, a person in this business who you can plant a flag and say, this is my guy. And Ray Rowe right now, as violent and as detrimental to people as he might be, is the guy that Norm Connors wanted his company.
Oh, DeMarco's got a handful. You talk about fortitude, how about a claw?
A testicular claw there from Jimmy DeMarco. And I can't say that I would, well, I guess I probably would do that.
Ouch! And Ray Rowe taking offense to that, as justifiably so, and now bending the arm and shoulder on that tightly enforced ring cable. That's not going to feel good. There's not a lot of give in those ropes.
Absolutely not. Ray Rowe, as I touched on earlier, is a mixed martial artist. Ray Rowe knows how to tear somebody apart.
Yeah.
How to take someone limb from limb and break them down.
You've seen it many times.
And he's starting that right now with Jimmy DeMarco.
But you want to talk about what's good for, oh my, DeMarco, again, perhaps gutsy to a fault. Perhaps loyal to his cause to a fault. As he's not only fighting a lion, he's taunting it, he's teasing it. And a and a spine buster. DeMarco able to slip underneath Rowe to take Rowe down. Nicely done. You talk about what's good for business. by the sounds of things, Jimmy DeMarco is good for business, certainly. And Ray Rowe, one of the best athletes here of all time, no question about it. But did he need the unfair help to get the championship? Probably not. That's what's so frustrating about the baddest man in IWC.
I'll agree with that. I will completely agree with that, as I think Ray Rowe could run through any man on any given night. One thing about DeMarco you have to respect, and I'm even going to give the devil his due, if you will. The power that Jimmy DeMarco holds in that small frame is unbelievable. We've seen him, hoist guys 3 times his size up on his back. Not to mention, you just saw him power up Ray Rowe with one arm for a spine buster.
Oh, he's a tough guy, no question. DeMarco introducing Ray Rowe to some of our implements here at ringside, and I don't believe it's officially a no DQ match, but you got to have expected it to go that way. I don't think the referee is going to step in because, quite frankly, the referee, I think, values his life.
Well, that, not to mention the fact that we know the history here.
Yes.
We know what's at stake, and I believe the referee is going to give them a little bit of leeway so that this ends tonight.
Oh, we might see a lot of leeway right now. What is this? DeMarco, thank God, goes downstairs to save himself. Did you? And Rowe hits the steel hard.
That should be a disqualification. It's not for the low blow, but for that. And you can tell that referee, who is that? Bobby Williams, I believe in there, is letting it go. He just doesn't. He's letting these two fight it out to the end.
No way for these guys to protect themselves on that ramp. DeMarco's proud of himself. But if you hear what Ray Rowe said before we saw that exchange, he's going to end Jimmy DeMarco's career. It seems like Ray Rowe's still after that bounty, whether it's there or not. Rowe is out for blood. He's out for malicious intent. He's out. No! Suplex! Good Lord!
Oh my God!
DeMarco lands in Twisted Steel, and that may pale in comparison to how twisted Jimmy DeMarco's spine is right now.
An over-the-head, belly-to-belly suplex there from Ray Rowe, puts Jimmy DeMarco into the front row. You see fans standing as their seats have now been demolished by the carnage created by Ray Rowe.
And that wasn't done to win a match. That was done to send a message. That was done to make a statement. That was done to shorten, if not end, a career. And that may be what it takes right now. Ray Rowe looks like he'll be happy to take a count out. And I don't see Jimmy DeMarco barely stirring at this point.
We're at a 6 count now. And Jimmy DeMarco is not getting up. DeMarco being helped by fans, actually.
And DeMarco, no quit. No quit at all. Never say die is Jimmy DeMarco. Even when he probably should, he won't. And by God, this kid is back in the ring, and he's ready for more. Is that your best shot, Ray Rowe?
Ray Rowe answering with a monstrous forearm. Jimmy DeMarco, I believe, is defenseless right now.
Jimmy DeMarco's attitude is not going to prolong his career, may not prolong his lifespan, but it sure as hell going to earn him a lot of respect. If anybody watching this, and check out the sidestep by DeMarco on the knees.
That might be the only defense Jimmy DeMarco has right now, is to run. Jimmy DeMarco needs to stay clear of Rowe until he gets some feeling back in his arm. You see him holding it down to its side.
You may be right, but DeMarco gonna take the fight. Full speed ahead, full throttle. I don't think DeMarco knows any other way at this point. He's too determined. He's too motivated. He's been through so much. From the family turning on him, to the crooked politics, to Necro Butcher. DeMarco's out on his feet, though. And Rowe took too much time. DeMarco banged him in, but Rowe connects with the knees the second time.
That should be it here.
The cover and near fall. And that has fallen a lot of great athletes. Those knees, they send you ricocheting back into the corner. Whiplash, not to mention the impact of the knees themselves.
I'm honestly not only impressed but shocked at the amount of punishment that Jimmy DeMarco is taking right now. I thought this match was over when he went into the crowd, and Jimmy DeMarco is taking Ray Rowe's best and somehow fighting back. But the question is, for how long? How long can somebody withstand this type of punishment?
That's the clothesline, the C4! DeMarco with C4! Can DeMarco do this? 2.5!
Ray Rowe, thank God Ray Rowe kicks out.
Can you imagine if Jimmy DeMarco could pin Necro Butcher and Ray Rowe in back-to-back IWC outings?
I actually could not believe that. If you told me a year ago that that would happen, I would call you a liar and bet my paycheck against
a second C4! A deep hawk! No! again.
Still not enough to put Ray Rowe down.
Less than half a count away. And I'll be honest, I want to see Jimmy DeMarco do this. Jimmy DeMarco, and we talked about Gregory Iron earlier, but Jimmy DeMarco is an inspiration all his own here. What a success story. Oh, DeMarco got hung up on that senton. Oh no, Death Row, done.
That's it.
Done.
Kicked out from Death Row.
DeMarco had a good fight, but in the end, what?
Oh my God!
What?
Nobody has kicked out of Death Row.
DeMarco just survived the unsurvivable.
I think Bobby Williams has been paid off. I'm going on record and saying that right now. DeMarco did not kick out before 3 counts.
Jimmy DeMarco just survived a maneuver in which the name implies the reality, Death Row. And Rowe,
I'm speechless. I'm speechless, Dombrowski.
Has to raise the stakes. Next level. As if we thought there was one beyond Death Row.
Well, now Bobby Williams doesn't want anything to happen in the match. It's okay for them to drop on him.
Wait, roll up! DeMarco! No! Well, it's one thing to fight all over this building, but when one guy's got a weapon, you got to draw the line somewhere.
I call that, judgment, in behest of who you want. Because Jimmy DeMarco should have been disqualified earlier tonight. There's no doubt about it. And I'm still in shock that Jimmy DeMarco kicked out.
That straight knee strike. And Rowe's, I believe the top of the bone of Rowe's knee is exposed. I don't think that knee pad is pulled up all the way.
No, he definitely pulled it down. And right now, if this was an MMA fight, the ref would stop it. Jimmy DeMarco's not even defending himself.
This is violent. No, DeMarco's been busted wide open right in the head from those knees. Straight bone on bone, knee to forehead. And Bobby Williams is calling for help here. This has got to stop. Rowe, a crossface, this has gone beyond sending a message here.
European crossface is right around here.
Our company doctor's out here. DeMarco is lifeless right now. He's motionless. And Rowe's not stopping. And the knees knocked DeMarco out. Straight up, DeMarco knocked, and now the elbow.
And if Ray Rowe's not going to win this match.
No, DeMarco's been beaten senseless.
They're going to call this match.
Stop the damn.
Get in there. Trying to end DeMarco's career right now.
He damn sure it is. And there comes the Gambinos. And they've had their differences with their cousin, but they had to do something.
Get out of my way. Get out!
Jimmy DeMarco's seriously hurt.
Ray Rowe here debating whether.
And DeMarco still wants to fight. Can you believe this kid? DeMarco still wants some. And we talked about guts, intestinal fortitude. There's no way to sugarcoat it. It's straight up balls. That's all it balls at Jimmy DeMarco. And
Chuck Roberts just thrown across ringside by Ray Rowe.
Come on, Ray.
Compete for the top prize. For Jimmy DeMarco, it's all about sacrifice. A man who has gave of his mind, his body, and his soul for 6 years. Sacrificed more than perhaps anybody else in this great organization. A man who puts himself secondary to this business, to his career, to his success, his heart, his passion, his desire. Tonight, 6 years of being overlooked, 6 years of grunt work and paying dues could pay off for the man known as Jimmy DeMarco. And Jay Worthington Farnsworth, it's a pleasure to have you here for this epic title matchup.
Don't you worry, Sherlock, your Moriarty's back. For 6 years, Jimmy DeMarco has been a punchline to everyone watching IWC. No one took him seriously, no one believed. And Jimmy DeMarco gets the last laugh by showing everyone he is capable of competing on this A level.
You know what? Let's forget about the Prime Minister perversion. Forget about the Pope of Rome. Tonight, this is Jimmy DeMarco the man. His personality, charisma, his comedy, it's second to none. But tonight, his reputation will not be overshadowed by what he brings to the dance, first and foremost, and that's a damn good in-ring wrestler. But what must be going through his mind?
Well, you have to believe. You have to believe that if he's not thinking about the mind game, then he has to wonder just something. I have no problem with the Cabal of Evil. I think it's a great move on Shiima's part. You want to hold on to that belt, you don't be the front line. You make sure you have some guns. But tonight, Shiima gets to show that he doesn't need any of it. Shiima gets to show that Jimmy DeMarco and all of these sycophant fans are wrong. That Shiima Xion, just as much as Jimmy DeMarco, is no joke. Shiima Xion has put the work in, done the tape watching, the travel, all the matches, and it all pays off to show that he might be the best wrestler to ever come and bloom out of IWC.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the participants. First, already in the ring to my right, he hails from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighs in at 208 pounds. He is the challenger. He is delicious Jimmy DeMarco.
And that reaction has been earned in every sense of the word.
His opponent is seconded by Rowe.
And that's a problem.
From the Philippines, weighing at 198 pounds, he is the IWC World Heavyweight Champion, Shiima Xion. Your referee is Bobby Williams.
And there you see the stare down. A moment ago, I alluded to what this is about for Jimmy DeMarco, as we see former best friends lock an icy cold glare on one another. For Shiima Xion, in my eyes, as we see the prize, that's what's it about at the end of the day. But in Shiima's mind, it's all about insecurity. Shiima holds that championship. That means he's the best in the company, unequivocally. But the jealousy, the insecurity over being not as popular as Jimmy DeMarco drove him, consumed him far enough to end a 6-year-long best friendship with Jimmy DeMarco, and these are the results.
And let's not overlook this. It is the end of a friendship. There is no repair on this. These two gentlemen hate each other with a hatred that I cannot even begin to describe. That adds a whole nother level to what is going on in this ring. Look at this.
I've said it many times over the past few months. The ones you love are the ones that can hurt you the most. And that's what we're seeing tonight with Jimmy DeMarco and Shiima Xion. Once inseparable, but now the personal animosity is overflowing. And as you can see, it has already spilled out of the ring in the early moments of this, the most important contest in each man's career.
We are looking at two men who definitely know how to technically wrestle. Lord knows we have watched Shiima Xion perform technical feat upon technical feat. I don't expect to see that. I wasn't expecting that in the beginning of this match. I think anyone who is in for a mistake. All of this anger has built up, and it needs to release in a couple good haymakers before we actually see any wrestling, if we see any wrestling.
And we got to watch Rowe out here, who should not be at ringside, one of Shiima's chosen ones here. I believe he caused a distraction with Jimmy DeMarco. Keep in mind, Rowe has literally beaten DeMarco into unconsciousness in the past. Rowe, it's very unsettling to see him out at ringside here. But watch Shiima now, gonna charge, but DeMarco able to counter.
Well, let's be honest, Rowe beats people into unconsciousness almost as a hobby. Honestly, Jimmy DeMarco should consider himself thankful that he made it to this match.
And Shiima, much like we saw a night ago, backing off from a face-to-face confrontation. Oh, look at that. Shiima knows how dangerous DeMarco is, knows how DeMarco can get, knows how DeMarco competes. And that's exactly why the emotionless assassin is out at ringside. The distraction again, but DeMarco had it scouted. Oh, okay. Oh no. And that could be a game changer.
Right there, that absolutely is. Have you ever hit your head off one of those guardrails?
Unfortunately for me, I have not.
I can tell you, it hurts.
I'll tell you this. Jimmy DeMarco hit his head off that guardrail 14 months ago in the initial matchup. And wait a second. Oh, DeMarco wants some of Rowe.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Bobby Williams has ejected Jimmy DeMarco, has ejected Rowe from ringside.
Oh, super kick. And that was all Shiima needed. The opportunistic Xion capitalized on the distraction, and DeMarco not only ate a boot, but landed hard on that solid steel ramp.
Honestly, a smart move by Shiima. He knew he only had so much time left with the distraction that Rowe provides. He was able to capitalize on it in the end after all those missed opportunities.
But as I was saying, 14 months ago, DeMarco was busted wide open on one of these guardrails in a matchup that took so much physically and emotionally out of both these athletes in the finals of our title tournament. But all that blood, all that violence was when they weren't on bad terms. Now, the personal animosity is there in addition to professionally. And now Shiima Xion is not just out to beat Jimmy DeMarco, but to eliminate Jimmy DeMarco.
Shiima Xion has built what my friends and I refer to as a wacky contraption out here. I am a little bit worried. It looks like we have a mess of chairs.
Oh no.
4 folding chairs set up.
This could have deadly tendencies here, especially with Shiima on the top rope. And thank God DeMarco's gotten up. Oh my God! What the hell? No.
Oh, he has him hooked.
No. Look out! Good Lord! DeMarco eats the steel, open chairs that have no give to it whatsoever. And the human spine will crack before steel will. And you can see, again, the bend on those objects.
And we have seen Jimmy DeMarco take steel chairs to the back before. This is not a new injury. And Shiima had to have known.
Oh, wait a second. Jimmy's favoring the shoulder. He could have a separated shoulder, torn rotator cuff. He could have a lot of damage right now. This could be very bad.
And Shiima playing the mind games, just sitting on a chair in the ring, waiting for Jimmy DeMarco to
Those chairs were obliterated, and they are constructed to hold several hundred pounds.
And he just took a drop kick chair right into the head.
5 minutes.
And now Shiima's in his element. All the spotlight's on him. Everybody's looking at him. Take out the hero of IWC. The ironic hero, but a hero nonetheless. And Shiima Xion sends DeMarco back in. And Jimmy's dazed. Jimmy DeMarco's dazed. A missile drop kick. Beautiful precision, beautiful technique, and yeah, he's good. He's damn good. He may be the best. But showboating in an environment like this may be a big-time mistake because you can never count out Jimmy DeMarco.
But let's not forget, Shiima is showboating specifically to show the crowd that he is the best thing to have ever grown out of IWC. Not just come from IWC, but start in IWC and work their way up. The crowd has chosen Jimmy DeMarco, and that anger,
hell of a clothesline,
is what fuels Shiima Xion.
DeMarco was spiked. And you're absolutely right, Jay Worth. And now, a little bit old school here by Shiima Xion. That's all he wants. That domination over DeMarco. That's all he cares about. He can't hold friends. Jason Gorey hates him now. DeMarco hates him now. All his prior allies are gone. Shiima Xion is a man alone, except for the chosen ones he's hired as his mutual beneficiaries. But DeMarco will still fight. Keep in mind, he survived Rowe. He survived Necro Butcher. He survived his own damn family trying to kill him. He will not back down.
This anger that I talk about between them that fuels Shiima Xion at the same time is the reserve for Jimmy DeMarco. Every time we see him take, let's say, a steel ring post to the head, it is this anger that makes him get back up.
Look out! Shiima face first on the steel. And again, with the insecurity and the pompousness of Xion, that is a physical and a psychological blow.
And Shiima is maybe out on Dream Street. His forehead square into that ramp. And that ramp, I swear, weighs 2 tons. Have you ever tried to lift that ramp?
I have. I haven't been very successful.
2 tons, maybe 2.5.
Shiima Xion chose to turn this matchup more so in the favor of Jimmy DeMarco by involving the ramp, involving weapons.
Oh, and he's hung up.
He is. And a crossface. A vertical crossface, but it's in the ropes, therefore it is illegal.
Oh, it's not illegal till 5, Joe.
And I don't think Shiima would mind a disqualification here because he can get out of Dodge with his health and his championship for the time being.
Oh, I think he'd take it. I don't think he wants it. I think he wants to prove once and for all he is better than Jimmy DeMarco.
Well, we've seen these two lash out at each other online on some YouTube videos on IndyWrestling.us, and the raw emotion in each of their voices shows you what this means and shows you how long this has been building. And Shiima Xion may be ready to finish it off and prove his point. Frog splash, beautifully done. Lateral pass for 2.5.
Oh, and I was talking about technical wrestling. That was a textbook 5-star frog splash. Shades of Rob Van Dam, shades of Eddie Guerrero. Hell, I'd even go better than Art Barr. That was perfect.
Similar form, similar height, similar execution and impact as well. But Shiima has another one of these mangled, deformed chairs.
You get the idea that Shiima walked into this with a game plan.
He indeed did. Well, former best friends. Not a lot of people really know the psychological makeup of Jimmy DeMarco, but if anybody does, it's Shiima.
That's true. Well, Shiima and the state parole board. So
Jimmy puts the brakes on, elevated Shiima, and Shiima face first, and the chair hit him once going in and once coming down.
And Jimmy's enjoying that.
Down with a spine buster. DeMarco is feeling it. What DeMarco has worked for 6 years may be about ready to come to fruition.
And he has a good grip on that wonderful mane of hair on Shiima Xion. I'm glad to see that back.
DeMarco puts on the brakes. Elevated, but Shiima, look out. And DeMarco sends Shiima right into the steel. I believe that's shades of their matchup in the title tournament when we saw DeMarco hit.
And Shiima on the floor.
And Jimmy, still being Jimmy, but make no mistake about it, he has tunnel vision right now on the prize. And now Shiima eats the steel, but returns the favor for DeMarco.
So let me ask you.
Oh, wait a second. This is what sliced open Jimmy 14 months ago. We got to keep our eye on both these men's physical state.
What do you think is driving?
On by 10 minutes.
Thank you, Chuck. What do you think is driving Jimmy more? The lust to have that title and prove that he's the best, or the lust to prove to Shiima Xion that he's better than him?
It may be a wash at this point, I'm not sure. Jimmy's got a lot of pride, and he doesn't show it a lot.
But it's there. It's definitely there.
Without a doubt.
Shiima went somewhere. He looks horizontal at the moment.
If I was anybody back there, I'd run for cover. Oh, God. Shiima's busted.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy, thank God, looks to be intact. Oh, God. They're on these solid steel bleachers. Oh, no.
Oh, Shiima goes behind.
This will not end well.
No, no, no!
No! DeMarco's head and his spine bounce off of steel again.
I swear to God, that bleacher bent. And Bobby Williams is checking.
If you're Bobby Williams, all you can do right now is count the bodies.
Call for a mop.
But knowing Jimmy DeMarco,
Shiima's up.
Jimmy may not be able to move tomorrow, but damn it, he will not quit.
There is a snarl on Jimmy's face. You can tell how much this hurts.
Look at the look on Shiima's face as well. The faces tell the story here. Both men know what they're in for. And Jimmy DeMarco, thank God he's still moving, but not very quickly. Shiima, top rope. DeMarco sidesteps.
Had the wherewithal to get out of the way.
Textbook suplex by the Delicious One.
Oh!
Doesn't go for the float over. Goes for the powerbomb. Then the pin for near fall. And DeMarco, you can see on his face, he wanted so badly for that to be over, to finally prove his point, but it was not to be yet.
Oh, and Shiima behind.
Shiima hangs onto the rope, and the kick.
Number 2.
Crucifix driver, pin, 2.5 again, and back into the crossface. And this will stretch, it will tear at your neck and your shoulder. It will leave half of your upper body completely immobile.
And if you've ever taken a pop to the nose, you know how bad it hurts to have anyone touch it, much less put their fist into it and yank back on it.
And that'll tear up the eyes too, that'll cut off his vision.
Oh, oh! He reversed it.
And there you see the technique of DeMarco. We don't give him credit for it. It's sometimes overshadowed, but it's damn sure there.
And I'm pretty sure Shiima has a bloody mouth at this point. Oh, the roll through. Back in.
And there you see again, they know each other so well, and they know what they have to do to the other to get the job done. This is a very dangerous hold. It has won championships. It has ended careers.
It has ruined necks.
And we may be seeing an example of that last statement right now.
And Jimmy, a ring presence, gets to that back rope.
Very well done by Jimmy DeMarco.
And Shiima smart, holding on for that 5 count.
That's right, 4 and change. It's not a DQ until 5. And Shiima, now that's a mistake. Having words with the official, and it gave Jimmy a chance. Oh! Bobby Williams is gone.
And Jimmy's up.
And the
Jimmy's up.
C4, new champion.
Cookie cutter, count it. Oh!
Wait, look at that! That's Maverick! Shiima's original photographer and advisor! What? We haven't
and
seen
a foot right to the face!
We haven't seen him in over a year! Many, many months!
But again, there's no one to count!
Wait a second! Look at that! Vendetta! DeMarco's partner! Wham! Vendetta! The Vendetta! One for Shiima as well!
And again, a cover, but no count. We have Bryce. Bryce is here.
Bryce Mansberg. Jimmy cover. The 2. No!
And Vendetta, when throwing Maverick out, threw him into Bryce. And that may have provided Shiima the actual time to snap out.
A 27-year dream for Jimmy DeMarco is down to these closing seconds. But Shiima escapes.
He went to float up and grab the head, and Shiima kicked him square in the back, and that's kick, what, 5?
Lost to dust. It's done. Shiima's done it. I don't know how. No!
Jimmy DeMarco will not quit. I swear to God, you're going to have to kill him.
And Shiima can't believe it.
And I swear to God, Shiima's willing to kill him, if that's what it takes.
If it proves the point, if it gets the spotlight on Shiima, by God, he'll do it. Now,
he's up.
A counter.
Shiima keeps trying, and Jimmy keeps getting up.
C4, a super. C4, a super. C4, 2. No!
The audience on their feet.
You want to talk about sacrifice. You want to talk about a dream. You want to talk about pride. You want to talk about pain threshold. You want to talk about the 2 best young damn athletes in this country right now. You've got it in the ring.
Right now, they both have to be asking themselves, what does it take?
And the question here is who can push themselves farther?
I think equally the question is who can continue to take it?
They can barely stand, but they're still hitting each other.
No, no, no!
Look out! Baseball slide. Shiima connects.
Shiima turns 180 degrees in the air and hits a dropkick baseball slide between the first and second ropes. A dropkick suicida?
And the official's calling for some help here. And not sure what's happened here. Jimmy may be hurt. Jimmy, I believe, hit the guardrail hard. And Gory and Shiima having words now. Jimmy, he has a history of head injuries. He's not going into this match 100%. I don't think he wants to.
Where the hell is Shiima going?
Do it. What the hell are you doing? No! Don't do that! What the hell? What the hell? Shiima doesn't care anymore.
Shiima will come back here and super kick you and I if that's what it means to get the title.
Jimmy DeMarco may have his career in serious jeopardy, and Shiima doesn't give a damn. It's all about him. It's his moment here, in his mind.
Hey, no one else is looking out for Shiima.
And now he's going to talk. Now what? This is far beyond out of control.
We have Chuck checking on Jimmy.
He left the building. There's obviously no more referees to count this match out. Chuck, we're Chuck Roberts, I want you to get in the ring, give me my belt, and announce me as the winner and still IWC World Heavyweight Champion.
Well, I want to say that's a bit presumptuous. I want to say never count out Jimmy DeMarco, but after that scare with the guardrail, I'm not so sure.
Come on.
Well, where else is this match going to go? I mean, you have to call it either he wins or it's a no contest. Either way.
Jimmy's a hell of a man, but he's still just a man, and he does have his breaking point.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner is not you. You're just a regular asshole. Who the hell do you think you are? You know who the hell I am? Here's the deal, pal. When Norm Connors walked out of this building and wasn't your boss, I became your boss. I own this company. What? Official, and this match isn't over.
Chuck Roberts is in charge, and Shiima is irate. Roll up. Chuck's in charge. He's the new boss. Near ball. It still wasn't enough. Every referee is down.
Oh my God, I have a lot of sucking up to do.
The crossface.
Applied.
DeMarco reverses the weight. The count. No. Sigmore. Jimmy did it. The cover. Count Chuck. Jimmy did it. Oh my God. And this crowd is ecstatic.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner and new IWC champion, Delicious Jimmy DeMarco.
A tumultuous 6-year career and a tumultuous 27-year life, culminating here tonight. He's been concussed, he's been bruised, he's been bloodied, he's had his knee taken out, he's had so much physical and psychological damage in his wrestling career. But tonight, on this moment, it is more than worth it for this hell of a man.
You do not train for a marathon if you don't need to cross that line. You don't go through everything that Jimmy DeMarco has gone through if you do not intend to at some point hoist that belt up. I am proud of Jimmy DeMarco for the accomplishment he has made tonight. Every chair, every busted open head, everything he went through is now worth it.
On the rampway, the cousins, Mickey and Marshall Gambino, with an ovation as well. As the air destiny off to the side, DeMarco has finally earned what he has fought for his entire life, and that is undying respect from his entire peers and fans.
I see Jason Corey out there showing respect, and hell, those two tased each other.
But you gotta give it up, Jayworth, to Shiima Zion. The fight of his life, and against any other man, Shiima would have won tonight.
I want you to look at the blood in Shiima Zion's mouth. You want to know what he was willing to go through to hold on to that title.
And check out this visual. You can see the pain on Shiima Zion's face while DeMarco rejoices with his people. And you can see the emotion in Jimmy DeMarco as well. A long journey from driving to the coalition of competition and getting his ass kicked every single day finally is culminated tonight.
I have watched both of these guys since they were in training in the coalition of competition. If you want to understand what IWC is and what IWC will be, I want you to look in the ring right now. It is that gentleman.
In one emotional moment, we have found out the two most important players in IWC in 2010. Jimmy DeMarco is the new IWC champion, and God damn it, nobody deserves it more.